Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo. Thank you so much for sponsoring me, first of all. And if you guys would like some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. And on your next $49 plus order, you can get 5% off with the code MEME. And if it's $99 plus, you can get 10% off with the same code MEME. MEME. Anywho, roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is King Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Was a Hyuga Part 2. I've recorded this like a few fucking days ago on a Friday, I believe, and it's a Monday. It's been 3 days I haven't recorded a single part, but it is what it is. I'll try to record 2 parts today, but if I can't, tomorrow, and I'm coming back on Thursday. But this will come out on a Friday, I believe. No, it will come out on a Saturday. I'm sorry for the wait. I just needed this rest. I feel much better. I got a lot of sleep, and it's just been better for myself, my studies, and my mental health. Anyway, now we begin this wave with Naruto and Team 7 actually heading off to their first ever mission, which is basically, anywho, last time we did leave off, I just checked the recording, and we left off at Team 7 actually passing their exam, and of course they begin their 1 month of missions as per normal. And yeah, of course during this 1 month Naruto, sorry for the movement, I just had to do something there. Of course during this 1 month Naruto kept up his training, and he even upped it a bit more, especially because he realized he's weak. He's really weak compared to someone like Kakashi or the Hokage, and even Shisui would destroy him, especially because Kakashi is the closest thing that he can see, the closest person to Shisui like in strength other than the Hokage, because the Hokage is so much stronger than Shisui, and Naruto wants to get as strong as Shisui first, and then stronger than the Hokage. And anyway, of course Naruto did ask Kakashi for training, but Kakashi did say that right now he really has nothing to teach Naruto, and so he has to train on his own. And Naruto then accepted it and said it's fine then. And yeah, of course Naruto kept up his training. It's been 2 weeks, and he kept doing missions, of course all D ranked, but he didn't really mind them, especially because of him not really having anything better to do, especially in his spare time. He'd rather train more than actually doing missions as of right now. But anyways, of course now Naruto, who has finally mastered a bit more of, well, no, not really mastered, but he's gotten closer to mastering the body flickage like Shisui had it. But anyway, now of course now Naruto, during one day he was actually training till late, really late, and it was around like 4 a.m. Right now, and he got out of nowhere. There was a massive fireball jutsu coming straight towards him, and Naruto's like, what the hell? And he had to dodge it or do something about it. And so what he did is that he created a water wall, just stomping on the ground, and water wall was created, and it literally evaporated the water. And yeah, wait, what? Yeah, the water evaporated, and the fire got extinguished. But of course Naruto then just looked through the activated his Byakugan and looked through and saw that it was actually Tsukome again. And Tsukome said, this time I won't let you go, you'll be coming with me, Naruto. And basically Naruto then says, you really piss me off, I'm telling you right now, I won't go easy. And then Tsukome actually starts running towards Naruto, and Naruto then says, do you really think you can beat me like that? And literally Naruto throws a kunai, in case it might have been a substitution, but of course Tsukome actually catches the kunai and uses it as her own. But something she didn't notice, this wasn't even a substitution, this was literally a bait for Naruto to throw a kunai so she can use it and catch Naruto off guard. But it was all a plan from Naruto. Naruto actually attached the paper bomb to it. He literally wrapped her around. It wasn't even like a normal kunai with the paper bomb, where it's just literally held on by a string, but it was actually wrapped around by Naruto, and literally Naruto threw it, and as soon as Sukome caught it, it literally exploded in her hand, and Sukome was like, "You little sly prick," and as she says that, Naruto's already in front of her, with his Byakugan, and said, "You really have gone weak, or maybe I've just gone stronger." And basically, Sukome then just smiles, and literally she says gravity, and Naruto completely forgot about this, and literally was held down by gravity, and this time it was more than just times 4, it was actually times 6. Naruto has gotten so much stronger, and Sukome used times 6 because she didn't trust herself to actually be able to stop Naruto this time, because of what happened last time and everything, and anywho, of course, now Naruto, who has actually kind of baited Sukome kind of baited Naruto into her, and now Naruto is trapped in gravity, or gravity's trapping him. He can't really do anything to stop this, since it's literally gravity. Like, what can he do against gravity? But anywho, of course, Sukome then literally got a kunai out and said, "This is all over." And Sukome was actually bleeding from that attack from Naruto, the paper bomb, and she was about to stab him near the neck, so he could actually lose out enough blood to actually pass out. But as she was about to do it, Naruto then said, "6 times gravity, I see." And Naruto could actually tell, because this wasn't too much stronger than it was quite stronger, but he says 6 times gravity. Just okay, I wasn't meant to say 6 times gravity, I'm just waffling myself out, but anyway, that was an accident. He just says gravity, and as he says that, Sukome then says, "What can you do against gravity itself? I don't think you can beat the earth, can you now?" And Naruto's like, "I can't, but you're weak." And as he says that, Naruto actually uses body flicker, which actually kinda is it's way slower than Naruto's normal body flicker, but Naruto will take it, and he was able to dodge Sukome last second. And now that Naruto has dodged Sukome, Sukome was like, "Wait, what?" And the weak point of this Sukome's the down the weak point of her Genkai was that there is actually a range to this, and Naruto was actually able to get out of that range and teleport himself outside the range, and it was a pretty big radius, but of course, diameter, no radius, but anywho, you know what I mean, the range was pretty freaking broken, but Naruto was able to get out of it, and what he did is that he did a massive fireball jutsu, which was heading towards Sukome, and Sukome was not expecting Naruto to be like this smart, to actually just dodge like that, or you realize that there is a range. But of course, now Naruto, who actually found out about the range, uses this to his advantage, and so Sukome actually has to dodge it, jumping up in the sky and trying to get closer to Naruto to actually hit him with the gravity again. But of course, it wasn't going to work twice in a row, and Naruto, as right before Sukome did it, Naruto actually backed up and did another fireball jutsu, which was much stronger than the previous one, and Sukome realized that she kind of effed up, because now Naruto has the upper hand, and literally what he does is that Naruto actually does another fireball jutsu at Sukome, and Sukome can't really dodge this one, and she gets hit by it, but she was able to protect her face, which actually helped out quite a bit. But now Sukome had she was in a pickle. She can't really stop Naruto from destroying her now, but of course Naruto takes advantage of this lead, and actually starts using body flicker and throws 4 kunais from 4 different sides, and Sukome was actually able to dodge all 4 of them last second though, and it wasn't the best of dodges, but of course Naruto takes this as a W for now. But after this, of course Sukome decides to go all out and use her 10 times gravity, but as she was about to do that, Naruto actually used her as a as a boost, and literally stepped on her face and literally jumped backwards pretty far, to be honest. And yeah, now of course Naruto, who took this straight on, Naruto was able to dodge this, and then he actually Sukome is like, god damn it, and literally what she does is that she says heat wave, and Naruto then says this is not going to work twice, and literally then Naruto says water shockwave, and literally stomps on the ground, and a massive water shockwave appears, and they both collide, which actually creates a lot of steam, which both of them aren't too scared of, because they both have dojutsus, and isn't too much of a strain on them to actually see through it. But of course they start a taijutsu fight, and Naruto actually loses the taijutsu fight, and Sukome is much better than Naruto at taijutsu, and it's not a pretty scene, especially because Naruto was on the ground at this point. Sukome took all she had learned over these years, and literally now Naruto was on the ground. But as she was about to pick up Naruto then actually opened his eyes again and says Hyuga style. Well, he doesn't really say Hyuga style, but he actually uses his eyes to create a. Sukome was not expecting this, and Naruto then jumps back up and says this fight isn't over yet. And as he says that, Naruto uses lightning and wind to actually create increase his speed, agility, and strength, which actually gave him a massive boost, which Sukome was not expecting Naruto to use. And Naruto actually jumped up and backhand slapped her into the ground again. And Sukome was those two hits were pretty strong against the Sukome. Sukome literally was on the ground, and she was like, what the? And basically this technique of Naruto's actually is really dangerous for Naruto himself, because he actually hurts his own body, especially the lightning and the wind together. They're just cutting through his muscles and everything, and Naruto needs to end this fight within another shot. And literally Naruto uses body flicker to even go faster than what he can already do. And after this Naruto actually after using all these techniques, he actually decides to use a body flicker with a fireball jutsu, which would actually amplify the strength of he would amplify the strength of, thanks to the wind release that he's using. And so this fireball jutsu was no normal fireball, but it was a pretty freaking strong one. But anywho, after this Sukome actually used a reverse summoning jutsu to actually escape this, because she doesn't want to die, that's for sure. I'm sure none of us want to die, but anywho, of course Sukome wasn't planning on dying tonight. But anyways, of course now Naruto, who wasn't holding anything back, and he was like, nah fam, you're not leaving. And he searched around because he thought that she was still here, but in the end realized that she must have reverse summoning jutsu herself somewhere else. And Naruto does know about reverse summoning jutsu, especially because of him training with the Hokage, and the Hokage has actually taught him about techniques that are used by the great legendary Sanin and everything. But anywho, of course now Naruto, who has finally finished the fight against Sukome, actually takes a rest. But anywho, it wasn't really too much of a rest, because it was like 4 a.m. When he was fighting Sukome, and now it's like 5 a.m. After searching for an hour, he's done. He can't go any further. He's like, nah fam, I've had enough, too much for one day. But anywho, of course now Naruto, who is actually sleeping, wakes up late the next morning. But of course his team doesn't really mind it too much, because they actually know that Naruto trains really hard. And once Naruto actually arrived to the training that they were going to do today, well, not training, to the mission that they were going to do today, Naruto actually had bandages all over his body, especially because Naruto was bleeding a lot from yesterday's fight, especially because of the immense amount of strain he put on his body, you know, Naruto actually decided to take the next week of training off. And something that we don't know about Naruto is, well, they don't know about Naruto is that Naruto is already literally near enough Jonin rank, especially because of his techniques. If he can only master, you know, his wind and lightning cloak. I say cloak, but it's not really a cloak. But you know, it just increases his stamina. Well, not stamina, his speed, agility, and strength. If he can master that without taking much damage at all, Naruto will be set, and he will probably be one of the strongest shinobi in the Leaf Village. But anywho, now after this, you know, Naruto actually spends the next week just, you know, talking to the few friends that he has, Shikamaru and Choji, and you know, they've been talking about missions, they've been talking about life, how they've been and everything. But anyway, now last week before, you know, Team 7 actually goes off for the first ever C rank mission, Naruto actually begins training again, and this time Naruto is training much harder. He's straining his body more, and he's actually started to use a lot more of his I'll say swift release. I'm pretty sure some people have asked for that, but anywho, I'll say swift release. But now, of course, in this week, Naruto has actually been able to use swift release a lot more. It's not doing as much damage, but something that Naruto realized is that he needs to learn how to actually heal himself while he's using this, technique, since he doesn't really want to take too much damage, and he wants to heal it back up as fast as possible as soon as he uses the technique. But anywho, of course, Naruto goes to the Hokage to ask if there is, a way of doing this. But of course, the Hokage says that the only person he's ever known being able to heal themselves during a battle was, Tsunade and, the first Hokage. Because remember, Hashirama has that healing ability even better than, Tsunade. We all know that. I'm pretty sure if you don't know that, I don't know where you've been living or what you've been watching. It's been stated multiple times that by Madara himself that Hashirama has better healing abilities than Tsunade herself. But anywho, now after this, Naruto, who has finally found out that he cannot do it, he gives up, and so he keeps training. The last day of his little training session by himself, he actually spends it actually just staying in the form, and literally he doesn't do any techniques. He just trains like Goku and Gohan did, in the hyperbolic time chamber when they were just training in mastering Super Saiyan. And Naruto was just doing that, trying to master his his swift release. But anywho, now Naruto, who just spent most of his day in swift release, just meditating in that form, has finally gotten closer, a bit closer. Not he hasn't mastered it fully, but of course he Naruto isn't going to get near enough not even near mastering it anytime soon, especially because of him not having enough time. But of course, now Naruto, who finally finished the training, he actually goes home. He didn't take too much damage. He was just in that form meditating. Of course, it wasn't the best of choices to do that, but it wasn't the worst of them, especially because he's gotten a bit closer to mastering it. Anyway, the next day, Team 7 finally got bored of these missions. Even Sakura has been training, and so they actually decide to ask the Hokage for a higher rank mission. The Hokage actually understands why they want to do this, especially because Naruto is he knows how strong Naruto is. He's trained him himself, and Sasuke has shown to have a lot of potential, especially because Kakashi has given reports about all of them, and Sakura, Sasuke has actually seen Sakura training on her own, actually in chakra control, and so she actually knows how to do tree walking, not water walking yet. But anyway, of course, he says yes, the C rank mission would be fine for them, and it'd be good experience too. And the Hokage is all right, fine then. And they can go on a C rank mission, the first ever C rank mission, and Naruto, well, Team 7 are pretty gassed about it. But anyways, of course, after this, Team 7 actually leaves the next day after meeting Tarzan. Of course, Tarzan actually wanted to make a joke about all of them, but in the end sees that they actually look pretty intimidating. Even Sakura is intimidating. Naruto is the most intimidating one out of all of them, even though he's not well, even though he was smiling, he looked a bit crazy in Tazano's eyes. But of course now, Naruto actually got ready for the next day's mission, and yeah, now of course Team 7 meets up with Tazuna and Kakashi, and they finally leave. After this, they were walking for a few hours until Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke actually noticed a puddle on the ground. Naruto actually noticed that Sakura and Sasuke actually noticed the puddle on the ground as well, and so he doesn't pay too much attention to it. Once the two demon brothers appeared, Naruto didn't act too surprised because he actually was expecting them, and so he just allowed his two teammates to take them on. Sakura actually came out of nowhere, jumped up and punched the ground, which actually shattered the ground underneath them. And then Sasuke came up behind them and tied them up. Actually kicked them once on the back of the head, and then he tied them up to a tree. After this, Kakashi actually was really impressed by these two and realized that Naruto didn't even try and help him. Naruto actually, he doesn't really hate his team now. He doesn't mind them at all now. But anyway, of course, Team 7 one in the best of relationships, especially as a team, since they don't talk to each other much at all, but of course they're still a team, and Naruto actually trusted his team to actually be able to handle these two. And so now of course Naruto actually thanked them for doing this, and not making him do any work. And Naruto was pretty happy that he didn't need to do anything at all. But anywho, now after this, Naruto and Team 7 continued on walking onwards to the land of the land of waves, and they actually walked for a few more hours, and in the end they actually came across they actually got surrounded by a thick fog. And Tarzan was actually pretty scared of this. He he didn't want to die yet or anything. But anyway, now of course Tarzan asked them what's happening, and Naruto, who's actually aware of what was about to happen, he actually sensed someone in a bush, but of course he didn't tell his team yet because he wasn't sure of it, if he was a person or not. But anywho, of course now Naruto, after finding out it was a person, he actually realized that it's a substitution. Actually tells his team that something's coming, and so then Kakashi actually tells them to duck down, and of course they actually do. And yeah, Naruto and Team 7 duck down, and a sword comes flying at them, the executioner's blade. But Naruto's not too worried about it because he's ready for anything, and he's not scared of anyone, to be honest, as of right now, other than an angry Hokage, since he does not want to fight him. He actually did anger the Hokage once in his training when he wasn't listening to him, and so Naruto would never do it again because he doesn't want to freaking die. But anyway, of course after this, Naruto, who actually was actually looked at Zabuza with a blank stare. Zabuza then says, you have some guts, kid. And now Naruto then says, and who might you be? And Zabuza says, I'm Zabuza, one of the seven ninja swordsmen, not seven deadly sins. And Naruto's like, never heard of you. And Zabuza kind of gets vexed. He's like, you never heard of me. And then Team 7 actually backs up, even with Tazuna. Kakashi actually carries Tazuna to the other side, and so he tells his team that they will not be fighting. And just saying, Kakashi actually wanted to go back, but of course his team actually complained, and even Naruto just said they're more than strong enough. I didn't even need to step in to help them, and they were able to take out 2 Chunins. Do you really think they're not able to do this? And Kakashi actually can already tell that who's the strongest out of all 3 of them, and it is Naruto, especially because Naruto has been trained by the Hokage, and the other 2 have not been trained by pretty much anyone. And so there is a massive skill difference, and it's not even funny, it's just sad. But anyway, now of course Team 7 just watches Kakashi actually fighting Zabuza. The fight went pretty much exactly as per normal, and something that Naruto has noticed is that there was some movement in the bushes, but of course Naruto didn't really pay too much attention to it, since he was too engulfed into the fight, and he wanted to see how this fight played out. But anywho, now Naruto, who has just been watching for a while, and he actually finally came to understand that there is someone in the bushes. As he was about to do something about it, he's like, oh wait, hold up. And he looks back at Kakashi, and he slips, and Kakashi actually got imprisoned in the water prison as per normal. And after this, Naruto actually made up a plan with his team to actually go and help out Kakashi, and his team actually decided to go along with it. And so they actually, well, Naruto said that he will transform into a shuriken, and Sasuke will have to throw it, while Sakura, well, once Zabuza dodges, well, Sasuke will have to miss on purpose for Zabuza to dodge, and in the end Naruto will throw a kunai, and if and after that, once Zabuza will definitely dodge, because Naruto has already calculated everything with the big brains. Zabuza will dodge Naruto's kunai because he doesn't want to get hit by it, and Naruto will be aiming for the head. After that, Sakura will come in with a punch, and then Zabuza will have to dodge, otherwise he will get his skull crushed, especially because Sakura has a lot of power. But anyway, of course, Naruto throws smoke grenades, smoke bombs onto the ground to actually cover, block Zabuza's view. And in the end, Naruto actually transforms, and they actually throw Sasuke throws the wind shuriken, and after this, Team 7 actually begins the plan, and it actually goes well until Naruto throws the kunai. Zabuza didn't even have to dodge here. He literally all he did is literally just move his head, and Naruto was kind of expecting something like this, but then Sakura came out of nowhere to actually punch Zabuza, and Zabuza definitely dodged now, and then Naruto and Sakura backed up with Kakashi, and Kakashi was actually catching his breath, especially because he lost a lot of breath from that. And Naruto told Kakashi to don't worry, and he'll take the rest on. And Kakashi's like, no, Naruto, it's too dangerous. And Naruto's like, you can recover for a bit, then you can come back. I'll just take him on for 2 minutes. You have enough time, right? And then Kakashi's like, I trust you, Naruto. And Naruto actually begins his actual fight against Zabuza, first time and anywho, now Zabuza and Naruto were equally skilled in taijutsu as of right now, because of Zabuza being pretty injured from the fighting that he did. And anywho, now of course Naruto knows that if Zabuza wasn't injured, he would probably get destroyed. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually continued to fight against Zabuza until Zabuza has had enough, and so he actually started swinging his sword around, which Naruto then had to dodge. And so it's been 2 minutes, and Kakashi gets back into the fight. After a while, after Kakashi continued his fight against Zabuza, Zabuza gets hit by 3 Senbone on the neck, but 2 other people arrive, not only Haku but also Tsukome. Tsukome is not wearing a mask, so she's kind of revealed, and Naruto realizes who she is, and Tsukome just smiles at Naruto and says, next time we'll arrive and we'll kill you all, understood? And Naruto then said, try, I dare you. And Naruto then just smirks and confidently, and Tsukome is like, let me just give you a taste of our power. And then she lets out a gravitational force, so which Naruto tells everyone to back up, and so Naruto was able to back up, same as Sasuke and Sakura, but Kakashi was way too close to Tsukome, and so he got caught by it. And then she let out a heat wave, not too strong to make the floor into lava, or to melt the rock into lava, but it was pretty hot. And Naruto actually decided to come in and to step in by using a water shock wave, which actually created a lot of steam, and in the end, the three ninjas were gone. Of course, Naruto was completely baffled on why she was working with Zabuza and that other Anbu. And of course, here, Haku didn't use that excuse about the Anbu thing, since there was an ally, and in the end, Sukome actually lied after finding out about Haku working with Zabuza. She actually lied about Tazuna sending her just for backup, and Haku actually bought it, and so he just played along, and he went along, and in the end, Team 7 actually went to Tazuna's place after this, and of course Kakashi actually began a little bit of training with all three of them. Of course, Naruto, who has already pretty much known everything that Kakashi was going to teach Team 7, of course, he actually tells them that he's not going to go with them and, train with them for now. And, Team 7 are like, but why? We're all a team. And basically, Naruto says that if he is there, there's nothing he can really learn, and if he does learn something, it's going to be too high level for them, because he's already done most of the things that they need to still learn. And it wasn't really it wasn't really that nice of Naruto to say that, but Naruto's being serious because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to stop other people from learning, because he's taking the teacher's attention, because Kakashi will have to teach Naruto harder jutsus that these two cannot learn. And so after this, Sasuke is like, you do you then, and they actually begin their training while Naruto's actually training on his own. Anywho, now during this time, Naruto's actually meditating in his swift release form or something. I don't even know why I call it swift release form, but anyways, Naruto's just meditating, and in the end, he actually realizes that it's been a few days and he still hasn't eaten or drank water, and so he goes home, and the next day he comes back again and trains for another few days, and in the end actually faints because he's completely out of chakra, and gets waken up by Haku. Of course, Haku actually healed his injuries that he actually sustained, and Naruto asked why he would do that, and Naruto then actually asks Haku who he is, and in the end, Naruto and Haku became friends, and Haku actually tells him about having a loved one, and Naruto never really had a loved one, and so he actually realized that the closest thing that he has to a family is probably Team 7, and so this is what changes Naruto, and he realizes that Team 7 is like his family, and so he actually straight away goes back home. And during this time, Sukome wasn't even with Zabuza or Haku, and so Naruto actually returns to Tazuna's place where Team 7 was actually resting, and Naruto apologizes and says that he'll be training with them from now on, and they say that tomorrow's the last day anyway, and Naruto then says, then I'll help you guys out, and Naruto sees that Team 7 his two teammates are really strong and they're not as weak as he thought they were. And anyway, now after this, Team 7 returns to the bridge, and they find Zabuza again. And here, Naruto actually wasn't gonna fight Haku. He actually found out Sakura and Sasuke were gonna take on Haku because they were pretty strong by now, and Naruto had to take on Sukome. Of course, he doesn't want anyone else to take Sukome unless it's someone like Kakashi, but Kakashi's taking on Zabuza as of right now, and Sukome is dangerous. She could kill the other two within seconds, and so he's going to do it himself, and he tells Team 7 that he's going to fight this one, and in the end, Naruto actually takes Sukome somewhere else, completely far away from them, and leaves a clone to protect Tazuna, and actually begins this fight. Anywho, of course, Team 7 was kind of getting annihilated other than Kakashi. Haku was destroying, and just saying, it's been 10 minutes and I'm just covering them first because they're getting destroyed, while Naruto, within these 10 minutes, Naruto was able to put up a real good fight against Sukome. Of course, Sukome still had a bit of the upper hand, but Naruto wasn't going to let her win that easily, and so, actually began to destroy her, and Sukome actually did try to use her gravity, but Naruto already knew her weakness. And something that Sukome thought that Naruto wouldn't be able to counter was that she actually improved her gravity Genkai, and she was actually able to increase the range. And this kind of got Naruto startled at first, but he actually was ready for anything during this fight. He then actually activated his swift release real fast. And just saying, Naruto's really close, not really close, but he's a bit closer to mastering swift release. 1 second. Sorry, I needed to get the charger. Anywho, Naruto's getting closer to mastering this release that he has, and so he just keeps using it over and over again. And Sukome realized that she has to use her Sharingan properly now, and so she activates her Mangekyo Sharingan. Of course, her Mangekyo Sharingan is completely different from any other Mangekyo Sharingan. She actually has abilities unknown to the world. I'm joking, but anywho, she actually activates it just to use her Susanoo, which slaps Naruto. And even Naruto with swift release wasn't able to dodge because he realized that he's going to get destroyed. But anywho, now Naruto decides to actually use something that he hasn't didn't want to use unless it was a dire situation, and so he actually let out all of his lightning and wind and engulfed himself into it, and literally came out with a pretty shiny body. But of course he was shining, and so he actually went blitzed Sukome and literally punched the Susanoo rib cage. Of course he just cracked it, you didn't break it, but it was enough power to actually blow back Sukome. And then basically she was actually confused, and Naruto then came up again and did a fireball jutsu, which was a massive fireball jutsu, and it was amplified by the wind release. Of course Sukome's rib cage was near enough broken at this point, but then Naruto comes in again and kicks the rib cage. It was a bit like the night guy kick, but anywho, of course after kicking it, Naruto was able to destroy it and kick Sukome right in the stomach and actually break a few ribs. And now of course Naruto just says, "You should run or I'll kill you." And basically Sukome is like, again and again and again, "I swear on my life, next time I see you, you're getting captured." And Sukome means that at this point. And then she disappears afterwards, and Naruto actually arrives at the battlefield again. And just saying, since Naruto actually never woke up late, he actually left the clone because he had the hunch of something bad's gonna happen. And so the clone actually disappeared, and Naruto got the details of what happened. And now Naruto was a bit more relieved, but his team was in danger. Anywho, Kakashi was about to kill Zabuza, and so Naruto actually came in to actually help out his two teammates who were getting destroyed at this point. Sasuke actually had Senbon in him, and so he actually destroyed the ice mirrors and literally was strangling Haku at this point. Naruto still a bit in his used a bit of his swift release, while Haku wasn't paying too much attention to Naruto because he didn't realize he arrived. But anywho, after this, Haku hears the lightning, the Chidori, and so he tries to get in the way, but of course, Kakashi tries to kill Zabuza, but Haku gets in the way and gets killed. And in the end, Naruto finds out who he is, and Naruto asked about why did you do this, and Haku said that Zabuza was his precious one, and in the end Zabuza just calls him a tool. Naruto gives him a Taken Jutsu, and the Land of Waves arc finished the same way, other than Naruto having a few more injuries, a lot more to be honest, a few ribs broken, and Naruto being pissed off that he allowed a friend to die, and Zabuza died in the honorable way, redeeming himself, a bit of his redemption fight. But anywho, after this, Naruto actually tells Team 7, apologizes to Team 7 for everything he's done, and he tells them that from now on he'll be more of a team player and he won't downgrade them or in any type of way. And Team 7 just smiles and says, "You finally understood, huh?" And anywho, now Naruto says, "I guess I was a bit ignorant," and they say it's fine. But anywho, now after this, Naruto and Team 7 return to the Leaf Village, and Naruto actually goes to the Hokage. After the Hokage talked to Kakashi, Naruto goes there, and the Hokage is like, "Oh, Naruto, are you here to talk about the Chunin exams?" And Naruto's like, "Wait, Chunin exams? What?" And he didn't know about it because of Kakashi not telling them, and uh, uh, the Hokage is like, "Did Kakashi not tell you yet?" And Naruto's like, "Wait, Kakashi Sensei was meant to tell us about this," and the Hokage is like, "Yeah, of course it's important. You guys need to pass." And Naruto's like, "Oh, that lazy prick. He didn't tell us anything." And Naruto then goes to his teammates and tells them about the Chunin exams, and then goes and finds Kakashi and actually tells him tells him why didn't he tell why didn't he tell his us, and basically tell them, not us. And anywho, now of course Kakashi says, "Oh, I was going to tell you in a week's time, but sorry, I'll do it now." And Naruto's like, "Too late, I already told them. They're training now." And Kakashi thanks Naruto for doing what he was meant to do, and Naruto's like, "I won't do it next time, right?" And Kakashi's like, "I'm sorry, Naruto." And now of course Kakashi and Naruto actually goes off on his own to actually go train, because he actually wants to become a Chunin. And anywho, now after this now Naruto, who has been training for a bit of time, actually, it's been 2 weeks, and Naruto has mostly been just meditating because of him needing to master swift release. And anyways, now of course 2 weeks later, Team 7 actually reunited again after a while, after whole weeks, and they haven't seen each other, they haven't trained with each other. Naruto, they have been training in everything pretty much, studies, jutsus, and the survival survival skills, especially survival skills, because after what happened in the Land of Waves, they're not going to risk anything. And yeah, now of course Team 7, after 2 weeks of training on their own, finally reunited. And now of course the first exam was about to start, but the first part of the exam, and they were still put under the Genjutsu, and Naruto was the one to release it. And yeah, now Naruto, Team 7 and Naruto go to their respective rooms and begin their exam. After a while, Naruto was actually able to pass the exam easily without even cheating, and he was actually first to give it in out of all 3 rooms. But of course, he didn't really need to. He didn't beat anyone's score. He was just the first one out of the people who finished. The people in the exam. But anyways, now after this, the second part of the exam begins, and all the teams that passed in the original series pass as per normal. And yeah, now of course they begin the second part of the exam straight away. The the Forest of Death part of the exam, the second part of the exam. And yeah, they begin it. And Team 7, here Naruto doesn't even go to do his business, because he was smart enough to do it before the second part of the exam actually began. And anywho, now of course Naruto actually being with Team 7, once Orochimaru arrived, of course his 2 teammates, even though being stronger than in the original, they still get paralyzed by Orochimaru's bloodlust, because they've never felt something as big as this. Okay, Zabuza's bloodlust was pretty strong, but of course Orochimaru has a completely different bloodlust, something that they would have never experienced in their lives until now. Well, they never experienced in their lives until now, until this moment. And yeah, now Naruto. Anywho, of course, Naruto wasn't too worried. Of course, he was worried about the amount of bloodlust this one Genin had, and he realized that this one's not a Genin. This one is something different. He's not built different or anything. It's just that he's not a Genin, and Naruto could tell that easily. But anywho, of course, after after Orochimaru actually begins fighting, actually tries to bite Sasuke. Naruto actually pushes Sasuke away, but Orochimaru actually then nearly bites Naruto, and Naruto's like, nope, and literally uses swift release right last second to actually dodge, and Orochimaru actually throws smoke bombs, and Naruto was too late to actually, even with swift release, he was too late to actually stop Orochimaru, and Sakura decided to actually stop fighting, and so she actually comes in with a punch, and she actually gets a punch in Orochimaru because he was actually still biting, not Naruto, Sasuke, and the Orochimaru's like, oh god damn, and basically Sakura was punching just was punching Black Tsunade, of course not same strength, but anywho, now Orochimaru realized that Sakura has just as much as Tsunade had at her age, maybe even more, and now, of course, Orochimaru took some damage. His ribs kind of got broken, but Naruto comes in and says, "You dare hurt my team," and Naruto's pretty pissed off because he doesn't want his team to get hurt at all, and so he actually goes pretty hard on Orochimaru and actually uses something that okay, that sounded really wrong. He has no mercy on Orochimaru and actually uses the new technique that he actually created, and it was a bit like Paikon's special move, the fiery kick, the one that engulfs him in fire, and the strong ass kick. But anyways, of course, Naruto engulfs himself with fire and wind, which allows him to not as fast as swift release, but of course it's actually literally raw power, instead of speed. But anywho, now of course Naruto was able to do a pretty substantial amount of damage on Orochimaru, but of course it cost Naruto a lot of his chakra and durability, especially because not only did it scorch Orochimaru, but he got scorched himself. Yes, this technique actually scorches himself as well. It's not just an easy technique to use. It comes at a cost, and Naruto's techniques are pretty costly as for now, but of course over time he will get better at them until he masters them, and when that moment comes, Naruto will be one of the strongest shinobi in this world, in the shinobi world. And anywho, especially because all these techniques give him a substantial amount of power. Well, not substantial, well, it gives him a pretty big power up, boost in power. But anywho, of course, now Naruto, who has a kind of kicked Orochimaru pretty far away. Of course, he wasn't expecting Orochimaru to get back up that quickly, because Naruto wasn't expecting him to get he wasn't expecting it, and so Orochimaru was actually able to get a few blows into Naruto, but Naruto wasn't done yet, and so he actually, as Orochimaru was about to punch him, the fourth time, Naruto actually switched from his fire cloak into his swift release form, and Orochimaru was like, wait, what? And he wasn't expecting Naruto to dodge that quickly. Like, Naruto's speed was on the next one, and he dodged way too fast for Orochimaru to even notice Naruto dodged, and he actually appeared behind him, and Naruto for a second there, as Orochimaru looks at Naruto, he saw Minato for a second, but then went back to Naruto, and Orochimaru's like, you're really his son, and basically Naruto's like, what are you on? And basically Naruto then tells Sakura to run with Sasuke's Sasuke, since he's injured, he needs to rest, and so Sakura actually listens to what Naruto said because she trusts Naruto. But anywho, now of course after this Sakura went off on her own with Sasuke, and since she's actually pretty strong here, she's not fully vulnerable to the sound trio. But anywho, now of course Naruto actually finished the fight against Orochimaru, with Orochimaru actually escaping last second because he actually didn't want to get killed. well, not especially because his body was running out of durability. The body that he was using couldn't handle all the strength well, the strength of Naruto, especially because Naruto was way too strong for the body. And he Orochimaru's like, how is he again in? There's no way. And he was baffled because Naruto was stronger than Orochimaru himself when he was again in back in the days. But of course, that is a that is a given, especially because Naruto is a prodigy here. But anywho, after this, Naruto arrives to see Sakura actually getting attacked by the sound trio, and he gets pretty pissed off and says, "You dare attack my team?" And again, Naruto has to fight, and he was pretty injured. His ribs were broken and everything, and now Naruto really needed some backup, but in the end he was actually able to take out two of them, except for the leader. But then Sasuke woke up, and he destroyed the leader, and they actually left the scroll to actually escape. Well, he left the scroll to escape with his two teammates, and in the end Sasuke got knocked out by Naruto because Naruto realized that Sasuke is dangerous. He's in a berserker state, and it's not safe for Sasuke to stay near Sakura or him, especially because Naruto. At this point, at this rate, Sasuke could actually kill one of them, and if he dies, Sakura really has no chance against anyone. Imagine there is someone like, imagine that snake dude comes back, Sakura doesn't have a chance. Or imagine the sound shinobi come back, Sakura will be in a pickle, especially because it will be she'll be outnumbered first of all, and here there are no rules in the Forest of Death, so people can just kill on a whim. And he doesn't want Sakura to actually get killed or anything. But anywho, now of course Naruto actually knocks out Sasuke straight away after realizing that he is a dangerous human being at this point. But anywho, of course, the second exam finished as per normal, with Team 7 passing easily. Well, not easily, to be honest. Well, for Sakura, it was a pretty easy fight since she didn't do too much right now, but it wasn't really her fault since she can't really do anything against Orochimaru or the Sound Trio at this moment of at that moment, especially because she was on a it was a 1v3, and second of all, Orochimaru is way too strong for her. There's no way she can beat him, even with a lot of training at this rate. If you were to put time skip Sakura against that Orochimaru, definitely Orochimaru might have been destroyed, but killed, annihilated, eradicated, all the big words. But anywho, now, but even if she had a year of training with the Hokage, Sakura wouldn't stand a chance against Orochimaru, especially because Orochimaru was trained by the Hokage for a few freaking years. And anyways, now of course Team 7 told Kakashi what happened, and Kakashi actually sealed away the the curse mark, and in the end the preliminaries actually began, and as per normal, and Sakura wins her one, Sasuke wins his one, and Naruto destroys Kiba, while the double knockout was actually between it was actually between of course here the double knockout is between Hinata and Neji. Sorry, had to do that one. But anywho, now we skip a bit to Sukome, who was actually training real hard, especially after losing. She actually finally decided to ask for training from Obito, someone who she kind of hated, especially because he was using Mother's name on a whim, and she actually respected her grandfather, and Obito was just doing this, and she's like, oh my god, you're so annoying, and blah blah blah. But anyways, that is where I'm gonna end off. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weaves there, and don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet Miniman123. Also follow Shokiro on Instagram, subscribe to Hxmesh and my second channel, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want. And also you can join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below, and my dark are dismissed, and peace.